morning, everybody. Today is a big day, a big work day for the little house. Today is a no makeup day over here at Yard Sale Squad. Also, I cut my head during the night somehow. I guess I scratched my head. My nails are a little longer than normal. You know, if you play instruments, especially if you play like a stringed instrument like I do, you don't keep your nails very long, and so they need to be trimmed. So I guess maybe in my sleep I cut my forehead. I don't know. So anyway, I'm headed over to the little house now, and I have quite a list of things that I want to accomplish today. The kids spent the night with grandparents last night, which was unexpected, but that allows me to get some work done on the little house today. We are currently on spring break, so Abram does not have school, so I kind of have this goal in my head that I'd like to get the walls done this week. I had my mother-in-law and a friend from church come yesterday and like gave me their whole day. I'm just so thankful for people who say like, do you need some help? Would you like help? And then like they actually mean it. And oh my goodness, they painted all day. My mom fed us lunch. We got the whole living room and hallway painted. I finished caulking all in the kids' room, and we painted the doorways in the master bedroom and then put one coat on the rest of the kitchen. Also, our handyman was there yesterday. He fixed all of the Banquette issues. So now that just needs to be puttied and painted, and then it can be put in place. He moved the cabinet down. That's going to be like the coffee bar area. So that was really great. So yeah, I am just trying to keep that momentum going. And you know, when you start to see things actually completed, like the living room paint is finished other than putting baseboard up. So when you start to see things finished, it kind of like gives you motivation to keep going. The other thing that I want to do house-wise today is, I mentioned we ordered our wood for our island. Well, the guy that is making it for us showed us that there are some split places in the wood that he's having to take out. And because he's having to take those out, we are losing a little bit of our width. And we thought we might have to buy another board, which it's an expensive wood. And he said, I really hate for you to have to do that. Why don't you just see if you're sure you need another board? So I'm actually going to stop by my parents and borrow a few of their bar stools. We do want bar stools with a back for safety for the kids, especially for Andy, because I just think it's going to be necessary. So I'm going to stop by and borrow a couple bar stools, and then I'm really just going to spend some time playing around and troubleshooting and saying, okay, how wide do we really need this overhang to be? We want it to be comfortable, but it's also like the first thing that you see when you walk in. So I don't want it to be like you walk in and there's no room between the door and the bar stools. So I think that after today, I will definitely know the exact size of the overhang that we need. I will definitely know if we need more lumber or not. I'm also going to try to make a conscious effort to bring my actual camera. That's what I'm filming on now. I don't know if you guys have noticed a difference. I can notice some difference in the visual quality, but definitely when I take my phone, it's like I just hear noises of me moving around. And I think my camera does a lot better job of stabilizing the audio. So I'm really going to try to just make a conscious effort to start taking my camera. All right, that's enough gabbing. Let's go to the house. All right, so first order of business is troubleshooting. That is the name of the game. So yesterday when we painted the master bedroom doorways, we just took the doors off. So this is actually the door to our master bedroom. And I measured it, and it is 36 inches across. That was what we had planned on having for the island. But then after having to cut out some bad spots in the wood, it's probably going to be closer to 34. So I'm kind of just using this as a guide, knowing that it's not exactly the same size. So I'll show you the couple of things that I am trying to consider. All right, from this side, I want to know how much of an overhang is ideal and necessary. So the things that play into that decision are, number one, the dishwasher, which eventually we would like to update, but for now it will stay the old one as long as it's in good working order. But with the dishwasher, it'll be about like that. So the question with the dishwasher is, once it is mounted, and I can't push it back enough to where it would be mounted, you can see the mounting hardware here, but you know, how far should this come out? Should it be right flush with the front of the dishwasher, or is it okay that the dishwasher kind of sticks out just a bit, you know? The other question, I don't know if this is the hardware we're going with, but I found these at the Habitat Restore at the same time we found the cabinet for the coffee bar. Let me open and I'll show you. All right, so this is what they look like. Again, I don't know if this will be a placeholder or if this will be what we actually go with, but this is kind of what we're working with now. Again, these will be a white color. So, you know, these will stick out this far. So of course we don't want to be like banging our knees on these. So of course, you know, these stick out a few inches and we don't want to be like banging our knees on them because this overhang is not, you know, enough. You can kind of see how far it sticks out there. So that overhang allowance there is just shy of an inch. That's maybe 3/4 of an inch there. I'd like to make it exactly an inch, but because of the doorknob here, I can't do that because it's running into the cabinet. All right, let me show you the stuff on the other side. All right, so there's the bar stools that I borrowed from my parents. Not the bar stools that we're using, but just to kind of simulate this. So this cabinet width is about 24 inches. So if we only allowed a 1-inch overhang at that end, that would allow for a 9-inch overhang for the bar stools, which is what we have here. So I'm just trying to simulate, you know, how that would look and feel. I mean, this is comfortable. It's not bad. You can't pull right up with your knees close, but if you had something that swiveled, you could kind of sit at just a slight angle. So the other considerations are, I don't know if you can see this here, but this is like the position of our sink. And so this would be kind of eating space, which you could fit a plate here. And then the other consideration is the farther we go back, we run into the door. So there is a little bit more room to go further. This is so hard. So I was hoping to have a lot of clarity after this, and I really don't, because like I think we could make it work. I think it also, in the long run, might be nice to have an extra inch there and maybe an extra 2 inches here. You know, do you buy another plank of lumber for 3 or 4 inches? I mean, maybe. I don't know. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm gonna have to have some extra input from Brandon, and I think maybe the guy that's building our island is gonna come by today, so maybe he can kind of give me some insight. I wanna make the wise choice, and I don't know what that is. Okay, so not ideal, but we're just gonna move on. It's gonna be a good day. It's just one of those things that it's hard to know what to do. Looking at it now that it's slid back this way to have more allowance, I do think it would be nice. You know, it's one of those things that it's like 2 inches, 3 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but in something this size, it really can make a difference in the functionality and the feel of it. Anyway, that's kind of where we are. All right, so I am gonna show you the living room here, and then I'll show you the master bedroom so you can kind of see the contrast. It's not that much different of a wall color. It's just a little bit lighter and it's very fresh. And I love how crisp that trim color looks against the wall color. I wasn't sure how it was gonna look because they're very similar, but they're just enough different to provide a nice clean finish. So obviously this room still needs to be put back together. We still got to refasten the thermostat over there, and then that smoke detector that's hanging down will get replaced. But it just looks so nice and fresh in here. The guy that is doing work for us actually found these baseboards, and I guess a company had ordered them and then decided they didn't need them. And so the only thing about them, of course, is that they're gray. So they will need to be painted, and we're going to do that before we install them. But because of the company not needing them anymore, they were really discounted. So that was nice. I'm going to have to move the table and chairs again so that he can finish the banquette. But what he ended up doing was he put spacers behind both benches. And so now I do already have some paint work that I have to touch up. And then he also put a spacer down here to this side. So this is what we are left with. And now we can open it all the way, and it doesn't hit this cabinet and it doesn't hit the wall. And once this is all painted, I think it will look very nice. And then he just added this little piece here and fitted in so nicely with the trim, so it will just look like part of the banquette, which is what I wanted. And again, this can still be fully functional. All right, so hopefully you can see in this picture, the existing paint color that was here is just slightly more yellow. The other one is much more of a cool tone, or even just a neutral tone. I don't know if it would be considered warm or cool. It's probably considered warm, but it's just not as yellow. But we did go through yesterday and we put a first coat on all 3 of those door frames, and then on this door frame that I am standing underneath. This one has not been touched yet, and we're also gonna have to take these doors out so we can actually paint the paneled board that's kind of in the cracks. The other thing I did yesterday was caulk in the kids' room in preparation for painting the trim. So some of the strips have been removed, but some have not. So places like this where there are strips to conceal where the board panels meet, I just went along and caulked on both sides, and that will make it so when you paint over, yes, you'll still see the strip, but there won't be these harsh cracks and harsh lines. I went along all of the door frames. I went along all the trim. More strips here. There's a nail sticking out there I have to deal with. More strips in that corner, and then pretty much between every window, there's a strip. Look at that sun coming in. And then strips along the top there as well. So this was one of those projects where it was like, I felt like I was accomplishing so much, but it looked like I was doing nothing. But it will be so nice once it's painted. All right, so today I'm just gonna keep working on walls, doorways, trim, just keep trucking with painting. I'm gonna put on a good podcast or a good playlist. We have our Bible study tonight on Ephesians 4, so I might listen to a couple commentaries on that. It's a beautiful spring day. I'll share a little peek at our backyard, and I'll probably do a whole video talking about it later. Well, I made it back home. I got done with all of those door frames in the master bedroom, and then I got the entire master bath caulked. I was getting hungry and wanted to come eat lunch, and I thought, well, let me just see how much I can get done in 20 minutes. And I set the timer, and then when that 20 minutes were up, I had maybe a 4-foot stretch of trim left, so I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the whole thing. So that was on my list today. I'm so glad that I got it done. So actually, after talking to the guy that's going to make our island, I told him that I think we just want those extra inches. I think that they're really gonna mean a lot.
And I said, actually, I don't even think we just want 36. I think we want to go to 38 so that we can have enough overhang on both ends. So he's actually going to go get the lumber for us, and so that will save me a trip over there. So I'm going to sit down and eat my lunch here, maybe read a little bit. I had hoped to go for a walk today and go to the thrift store, but I'll probably save that for tomorrow when the kids are with me. So I'm going to sit down and eat. I am having rice bowls with pork carnitas. I made those in the crock pot on Monday, and they're so good. I've got homemade guacamole to go with it. So yeah, that wraps up today's vlog and all of the happenings at the little house. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.